Now, new research suggests that fewer British-born workers now have jobs in the private sector than when Labour came to power. Figures from the Office for National Statistics show that in 1997 there were more than 19 million British workers in the private sector and 1.54 million foreign staff. However, by 2009, the British-born figure had fallen to 18.73 million, while the foreign-born total had almost doubled to 2.92 million. Well, with me to discuss this is PhilippeLegrain, economist and author of Immigrants, Your Country Needs Them. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. First of all, I mean, are these figures correct? I mean, it's possible to massage statistics, isn't it? I mean, are these figures right in your point of view?
Well, the figures are misleading. I mean, first of all, why the focus on private sector jobs alone? And also, why the focus, which the paper doesn't mention, on only of people of working age, i.e. under 65? What's wrong with public sector jobs? What's wrong with older people working? If you look at the broader statistics, you see that since Labour came to power, 2.5 million new jobs have been created. Of those, 800,000 have gone to people who were born in Britain, and 1.2 million have gone to British citizens. So actually nearly half of those jobs created since 1997 have gone to British citizens. You also have to remember that even among people who were born outside this country or who are not British citizens include people who've been in this country for decades, and rather than recent arrivals from Eastern Europe. And again, what's wrong with someone who happened to have been born abroad, who's been here for decades, finding a job?
OK, so these figures are correct. They're just a bit selective, you're saying. They have no context.
Yeah, they're misleading. They're misleading because they only focus on the private sector and lots of the jobs are being created in the public sector. And they're misleading because they exclude people who are not of working age, i.e. anyone who's over 65 if they're a man, anyone who's over 60 if they're a woman, are not included in these figures. And I don't see it's completely arbitrary to say we're not going to count older people in jobs.
I mean, the suggestion as well from any figures in this area is that there is a finite pool of jobs within the economy, and that if someone from outside comes in and takes a job, then that job is not going to someone in the UK. I mean, is that the case? That, you know, you can say, well, there are fixed numbers of jobs within the British economy and someone can take those jobs away?
You're making a very good point. It's completely misleading, the notion that there's a fixed number of jobs and that if an immigrant takes a job, that it's one job less for British people. The reality is that whether you're an immigrant or whether you're born in Britain, you don't just take jobs, you also create them. You create jobs when you spend your wages, which creates jobs for people who make everything that you buy, and you create jobs in complementary lines of work. So if you think about it, an East European builder will create jobs for a British person selling building supplies or for a British interior designer.
OK, we'll leave it there. PhilippeLegrain, thanks very much.
Thank you.